No worries at all.
All right, boom, it's recording. But yeah, I have theories on each of them. I know all of the positions except the first one.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know all the positions.
The first one maybe we've looked at before, like a long time ago.
Possibly, but I remember watching a Ben Feingold lecture about this,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's pretty clear what the plans are.
It's like converting the space advantage, bring the knight to a4.
Yeah,
In a practical sense, you still have to be cognizant of Black's counterplay. Like Black's one idea, if you're not careful, is to sack on g5.
oh
And
yeah.
check.
Which is why like Casablanca was like trying to put his king on the right square or something.
Yeah, like he walked to h4 and then realized the king should go back to g2, but White has basically unlimited time. So,
Basically. So I would love to cover all the other ones except this one,
sounds good.
and see like whether or not like I could convert it. I think I'm confident in like half of them,
Okay.
but the other half, like the Nakamura one, I'm just like,
Yeah, I think the Nakamura one is probably the most difficult. And a few are like borderline. Okay, maybe a couple of them there's like huge advantages, but there's an interesting mix of problems or positions where
yeah,
some of them are a lot more practical. Some of them like there's a clear plan, and if you execute the plan, it's winning. But some of
yeah,
them, yeah, are a bit. It takes a lot of effort and kind of grinding in a practical sense.
yeah. I would love to test it on you because it looks like this. For example, this one looks simple
Hmm.
as black. This is probably I think the most simplest one, but a simplest one. But I bet you I'm gonna blunder a pawn like and and do something wrong. Uh,
Well, so this came from one of my games, which I failed to win. Um,
oh wow.
you can see like the names of the players and the results, and the game actually ended in a draw after two more moves from this position.
Oh man, I'm gonna fuck it up already.
Well, okay, I mean, the first step or the first thing to realize is White's threat.
Wait, don't tell me. I'm pretty. Let's play it out.
Okay,
And
sure.
if I fail it, we'll do it again.
Yeah, sure.
Would you be open to sending me a challenge invite?
Yeah, let me
If you're on the study or not? I'm not sure if you are. Or
yeah,
I
let me
can
go
do
ahead.
it.
No, I have the study open. It's just a
Okay.
matter of continuing from the position. Let's see, continue from here. What time control would you prefer? Like
Maybe do like 5 and 5 plus 5? Or what do
five
you
five?
suggest?
Yeah, I think 5-5 is very reasonable.
Yeah. Just enough time to just like think, but
Sure.
not enough to play blitz?
Okay, something weird is happening where it's not actually recognizing the position. Try one more time. Aha, okay.
Because you're gonna play it as black, I think.
Yes. Or
Yeah.
no, you'll play as black, I'll play as white.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be good.
Lichess, like since version 2 has come out, there's been this error with challenging people. But okay, now looks like
Okay,
it's set.
I got it. All right.
Oh, I got your tip for the the tissues,
Oh
which
yeah.
which will be useful because I've been suffering from allergies. I was thinking about going to Walgreens and pick up a tissue box.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I appreciate you taking the extra time to do the studies and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was no problem to put together. It's good material to like kind of accumulate because of other students who struggle with converting winning positions, uh,
Yeah,
even for myself as well.
you can reuse it. But cool. Okay. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
I'm pretty sure your threat is just to get my pawn, right? So I have to play this.
Yeah, there's a few moves. I mean, bishop d5 or bishop c2. I'll tell you, like in the game I played king e7, just allowed knight d3.
Oh no. Okay. Did it start?
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Now I gotta focus.
Hmm.
Wait, I forgot my prep.
So you study this. So you.
I studied this. I forgot my prep. I knew that you. I know that you have some tricks, and I forgot my notebook at home foolishly.
Mm.
But there's no excuse.
Well, there's a difference between like memorizing prep and like
Under-
understanding the prep. If you like understood and internalized it, maybe it would be more effective.
Oh man. Okay. I feel embarrassed.
Well, no need to freak out. Like it's still, I mean, you're still clearly better. It's a two-result game. But if you forget, then you just have to focus.
Huh. I see where you're trying to go. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is hard. Hmm. Okay. I feel like I'm counter. This is counterproductive for me. I'm like,
Well,
I think
the nice thing for you is it's like you're playing in a way that you're taking very few risks,
yeah.
just trying different ideas. Um, but I know it's frustrating if you can't break through.
Okay. Uh, oh fuck.
That's generous of you.
uh, oh man.
No, this is a common occurrence where like you're about to like I think you were about to play e4, then
I
you
was about
change
to
your
play
mind at the last
E4.
moment. And you play a move that you didn't calculate like or you didn't look at closely enough.
Yeah, I was about to play E4. You're right. That would have been simpler, I think.
But
Just to
e4
get
is playable. Like
just
it's
to get my king this way, right?
yeah. Maybe I would play f4 and put them on e3 and try and just stop you, but it's still tricky. But now maybe I'm trying to win. Okay, let's move back.
Wow, this is very sad. Um,
Well, this is another like occurrence where like there's a huge shift. Like there's a blunder, and now the whole game changes.
I don't think I can stop 93.
It's true. It's hard to shift from playing for a win to
Yeah.
hold on for dear
Man.
life.
Okay. Damn, why did you just take the bishop? Uh, okay, I think it's best to just leave the bishop. Oh no, leave the pawn and just keep the bishop.
Mhm.
Huh. Where do I keep it? You know, this is nuts.
It's a good move. Hmm.
Oh shit, my time.
Stay calm under pressure.
Okay. Uh, what the hell? No. All right, GG.
Chess is a brutal game.
Good.
Very brutal
Yeah.
game.
I think I let's go back to move before the blunder. Um,
Yeah, I think
it won't let me go. Okay.
I think there are a few factors that caused things to go downhill for you. I think initially you were trying to like break through on the queen side,
Mm-hmm.
which maybe could have worked. I know you want to walk the king to a3.
Yeah. If you go to move 10, when you knight b6 check.
Yeah, and maybe we can put this back in the study too.
Yeah, sure. I thought I did everything pretty well until up to move 10.
Uh-huh.
And then my king, I thought your knight wanted to go to c3. Was that right?
Right. So like the key line here is king b4,
Okay.
knight d5, king a3.
King a3, right?
Right.
And then I didn't know what to do after knight c3.
Right. Knight c3, then maybe you just wait with the bishop, like bishop f5.
And do nothing.
Like well, you play bishop f5 with the threat of b2. So
Oh, I see.
you can't play b2 immediately because you lose your bishop.
Oh, I didn't see that. Wow.
I think this may have been the simplest approach. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
In,
I saw that position knight c3 and I didn't know what to do afterwards. And I Cause I thought the bishop was going to be under attack, so b2 was impossible. But just simply moving the bishop, like you said.
Yeah, because your bishop was. I don't think you ever moved the bishop until later, like after you lost the pawn. But like you at some point you would want to move the bishop, especially when my knight was not covering b2. So you're threatening to push the pawn.
Wow, I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
So yeah, if you were to play king b4 here, I don't know if I'd play knight d5. Like maybe I'd play king c1 and try and just like hold on for dear life and stop you from playing b2.
So king b4, king c1, and then king c3. Oh, and then that won't work because of
and I have some
knight
checks
d5.
like d5, but then your king can start running over to the king side, like king d3.
Oh, I see. And then get the king side pawns.
Right.
Wow. I thought this would be the simplest game, but clearly it's not.
Yeah, no, this is actually like a tricky position if you start by maybe not realizing the right plan. I think there's actually a simpler plan to win.
Yeah, what is this?
Go back further.
If we can go back.
I have the game in the study, or in the same study that shared with you initially.
All right, let me go to the study so we're on the same page.
Sure.
Yeah, what is a simpler plan?
So overall, I kind of like what you did. I actually think the bishop should be on d5.
And allow knight.
It feels nice when like the pawn defends the bishop defends the pawn, like what you did in the game. But if you put the bishop on d5 initially, then there's a bit more pressure on the kingside pawns. And that way your bishop can influence, it can hold on to your pawn on the queen side and influence the king side.
I was so focused on stopping the threat of knight d3 that I thought bishop c2 was forced. But
I see.
If knight d3, then you push the pawn?
Yeah, so just to explain like the plan for black is, okay, bishop belongs here. I think it should still be winning with bishop on c2, and you could even like try the same plan regardless of where the bishop is.
Sure.
But essentially, you want to put the pawn in b3, so it's not going to be lost. And then simple plan, walk the king to f5, and then eventually go for the e4 break. And then create some entry point so your king can later come in and win pawns. And I think the way in which black wins this is either by getting some eventual zugzwang or by just forcibly breaking through, where white won't be able to stop the king just because this knight is out of play and there's constant pressure on the kingside pawns.
Got it. My initial plan was the king comes to the queen side to push the pawn and have that be a decoy to eventually later doing that, going to the king.
Which I think that also could have worked. Actually, I think you started off quite well if you were going to go for that plan. I think it was just a matter of, like, this is actually very nice by you, because you essentially put me in a situation where if I try and stay on b2, my knight just has no squares. So it's actually a very nice idea to just cover all these squares with your king and with your bishop. And this,
I thought that would be enough. I thought so.
Yeah, that's why I had to go for knight b6, which is kind of a desperate move for me. But we see the knight is still tricky in these situations. So yeah, if you were to play king b4, I think it should be a more straightforward win. Because the line that you had mentioned here, just bishop f5, and like b2 is unstoppable, and then b1 queen will be unstoppable, I think.
That is the simplest plan. For some reason, I just didn't see this. I saw this position, and I thought my king can't go here. I can't push b2 because of. So I had to think like a half move more on this.
I think you evaluated too early, or you made a false assumption that you can't make progress, but decided to see the simple like retreating move with the bishop.
Yeah, but your plan makes a lot of sense as well. If you were to go back, I don't know where the arrows were, but even before this,
Oh
like
yeah, maybe I got rid of them, but
don't worry about it. But like put like just making this break later.
yeah, like if we play it out even, like this is just to see what happens over the board. Um, okay, like the pawn will come to b3, black will walk up the king, and like if white waits around, white can wait around with the knight. Black wants to improve like as much as possible, so like put the pawn on e5, probably put the pawn on h5. Um, maybe even try and provoke white to play h4.
Is h4 a weakness for white?
Um, well, h4 would stop black from playing h4 himself.
Yeah.
Which could like later allow the king to come in.
Okay,
So
so for example, h4 here.
so h4 here, and now probably the time is right to play e4.
Yeah.
Where now black is trying to create an entry point. Because now if white plays f4, the king can come in.
Ah, so that's what I mean by entry point. Just like you need a way to get in somehow.
Yeah, and this is actually a common idea in like just pure king pawn endings, where
Yeah.
there's like maybe a closed structure of pawns, but if your king can like enter the pawn's territory, that's usually what we call like the entry points. And there's a lot of like kind of well-known drawn positions where there's just no entry point for the king.
Hmm.
Here, black has to use this break to create the entry points.
Okay, so say we just continue this line, right? So captures,
So takes, now.
captures, and then either something like this, and
So
then the
king
king's
f2 or
coming in.
g3, yeah. So if we imagine king f2,
Okay.
this is where black can now switch gears and just go this way. Because we see like white's king is just trying to do too many jobs, like it's tied down to the pawn.
Oh, I see.
Then yeah, you just lose a pawn. If g3, then the king's very quick to come in.
And if g3 here?
So g3 here, it probably takes some more work, and like it might take some work to construct like some zugzwang position. We want to like eventually play king g4.
King d4.
King g4.
Oh, king g4.
Imagine, or even like walk the king this way. You start with this move. I'm actually realizing maybe black still has to go for your plan of restricting the knight, like put the bishop on c2 and bring the king here.
Yeah. Huh, that's interesting. Well, at least the bishop now can clearly guard like the pawns without the e4, the e5 pawn being a target. Because I blundered.
Yeah, like black can freely walk the king to the queen side and not worry much about having to guard the pawns on the king side. So if white waits with the knights, like knight c4, like we just keep walking b2. And now we probably just play a waiting move, even bishop c2 here. And it's going to be the same idea we saw before.
Sure. Makes sense. Let's move on to the next position, but let's play this out before the session ends.
Yeah, that I was going to say, yeah, maybe we should play out one more time just to make sure you can execute this idea.
Well, actually, maybe let's just play it out now. Let's just finish it, and then we'll move on to the next one. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just going to continue from here. Oh, wait a minute. I want to continue from the initial.
Let's start, yeah.
All right. So.
Okay, I'll get you this time. Oh, actually, I won't say that.
See. Yeah, never celebrate before it's before the game is ended. So I'll be white. Chess needs to fix their code. Like every time I say continue from here, it gives me this error message, and I have to click OK like 10 times.
Oh man.
Okay.
I like their new 2.0. Like it's.
Yeah, overall it's nice. Yeah, its responsiveness is nice, but.
Okay.
One error. Okay.
All right. Is h5 necessary or no? Am I ever scared of g4, g5, g4? Like if I go king f5, is g4 ever a thing? Not really, because I have
Probably not. It just creates more weaknesses. Like G4 enables you to walk in through
walk in.
E5 and H4.
Okay, I'm understanding now. Entry points. That's the key for this endgame. Entry
Yeah.
point.
Like already, like if I move my king anywhere, you'll have king F4 and maybe at some point king G3. So I'll just wait with my knight.
I think the problem I've had in endgames is just like I feel like I need to have like the 1-2 punch where I think the way you're describing it is very patient and just you don't have to have the 1-2 punch. You just kind of make waiting moves and not waiting moves intentionally, but like
I mean, especially a position like this, it's more of a slow grind where you're just trying to play very restrictively and slowly build like small advantages, gain space, and transform the position in your favor. I think this is the same position we saw just a few moments ago. Gotta watch out for these
I
knights.
know, I know. All right, let's go here. Can I just? Oh, I can't. I'll say, wait a
You
minute.
stop yourself, like
That's tricky. Okay. Am I getting closer? Wait, no, what happened? Did I lose it? No, right? I have king a4, no?
well, I think you're okay. Like you can't make assumptions until like you calculate like the options precisely. And if you think you've lost it before you've calculated, that will just throw you off even more.
Okay, I think this is the safest. No, wait a minute. Bishop c2 is not that safe. That's a draw. What? Wait, so king a4 has to be it. Or bishop e6?
Yeah, so a couple options.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so
Hmm. I think the bishop is much better on e6.
really, that's so
At
strange.
least in this case. Because now you're threatening king a3,
So king b2 is forced, and
and you're
king b.
preventing knight c4.
Oh.
I have knight b1. Yeah, maybe I will play knight b1. I like it. Yeah, this is nice meeting you because you just put the ball back in my court. This is a move
Yeah.
I can play very quickly. And now I either have to allow you to play king a3 or king b4. Neither move I want to allow you to play.
Well, I mean, the whole half hour before this prompted that
Yeah.
this waiting
Yeah,
room.
no, this concept of just a quiet waiting move can be very powerful in positions like this. Um, do I allow? Calculating knight d2, king a3. I really can't stop you. Hmm. Probably have to play king d2. Unless maybe I can play king d3. King d3, king d4. Yeah, let's try this.
Okay.
Okay, so again, if I move my knight, I'm allowing king a3.
You should go back to king d3.
King d3 would be tragic. It's a very strong move again. Like just again, put the ball in my court. I'm looking for knight tricks.
I think what's also underrated is like playing the the side where you're losing, where you're looking for resources. Like I don't think that's talked about or studied much. Um,
Yeah, no, that's actually like I have a lot of pleasure holding on for like dear life in positions and then trying to come up with tricks or resources.
yeah, that could be a good book title. I don't think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, like saving hopeless positions or holding on for dear life. Fortunately, I'm not seeing anything here. I don't want to resign, but it's not comfortable. I'm still competitive even in situations like this.
That's very fair. It's the simplest. I'm not sure what you're trying to do. So push, takes, G4. Wait, what? I don't know what you're trying to do, but okay.
No, you calculated the line exactly. If you were to push, it would be a draw after.
Really?
So King A2 is a very good move. You want to keep your bishop.
It'd be a draw because you can just.
I would trade off the pawns.
Yeah.
And G4 takes, and then don't think you would be able to stop H5.
Oh, you're right, huh? You want to keep playing on?
Just want to make sure you can win the pawn.
Shouldn't be that hard, right?
Not at all. No. Well played.
Okay, wow. The waiting move.
Took a lot of work. But yeah, now like this, and the concept of just waiting, it's
Yeah.
or realizing when your opponent just has no like good move or like every move is self-destructed.
Hmm.
Like basically just the concept of zugzwang.
Yeah. Is there an easy way to put this into the study without clicking analysis board and then add the study? Or do you have to?
So it helps to have like the study open in another window, and you just copy and paste the URL. So copy this
Oh,
URL.
really? Let me try that. So copy this URL
Yeah.
and then go to the study and paste it in a new chapter?
Yes. So add new chapter URL.
Oh. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have the full game.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it's nice. So the workflow is very nice on chess in this regard.
Okay. Nice. You want to go on to another position?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we do the no, sorry, not Nakamura. The Carlsen game?
Yeah. Yeah, actually this one I found like some nice annotations online which I can add to the study.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to play it out.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd rather play like two positions out really well and then
Sure.
gloss over the others versus
Okay.
like trying to rush everything. But yeah, this is like tricky. I don't know if I know how to have the right answer or not, but I'm definitely open to playing this out.
Okay, cool. So if you want to challenge me, you can click the menu icon.
Okay.
Continue from here.
Got it.
Play with friends. I'm curious if it's going to give you the same error as it gave me, but maybe not. 5. Yeah. So and then you'll be white.
I'll be white.
It's not giving you the same error. Huh.
The UI here is really good. Oh my gosh.
No, it's great. Yeah, this yeah, you don't get this on like any other application or site.
No.
So I assume you studied this a little bit.
I studied for like 50 minutes, yeah, but I couldn't find the solution.
Uh,
I found like a loophole, not a loophole, but like a resource, but
mhm.
it forced me to lose a pawn
Mm,
in order to trade off the rooks.
interesting. Okay. Well, okay. It's important to know like you're threatening c4 to win instantly. So I guess I have to play the
Oh, I
king.
didn't even see that threat. Oh shit!
Yeah, it's important to
Wow,
tactics even in the endgame.
I did not
I
see
was
that
thinking
at
about playing
all.
h5 here, but h5 would throw away the game immediately.
Wow, I didn't see that at all. To be honest,
Uh-huh.
that probably would have changed a lot of my calculations.
Mm. Yeah, so it's nice. Like my king can't really access d5 or b5 as long as the rooks stay aligned like this.
Yeah, so here's where the plan is unclear.
Mm.
Um, yeah, the plan is very unclear here.
So when it's unclear, then you have to just rely on kind of figuring things out yourself, try and formulate some sort of plan.
So is there ever a world where you just give up the C2 pawn? No, no, right?
So that's one idea to try and like activate your rook. But when you lose c2, then it weakens d3 and b3.
And you lose everything. Because I could arguably do a pawn race where I take the queen side or the king
Which is
side,
interesting. Yeah, that's one idea.
but it's probably not the most tested. I like that.
I think it's important to at least identify perhaps a few different ideas, like because okay, white's pretty tied down. There's not too much else to consider. But h4, okay, interesting. I'll do this.
Now I'm like, shit, no. Um,
Okay, very interesting. So you're trying to activate your king by
I,
walking around.
I just found that like right now. I did not study this. This at least this tactic, but
So it'll be interesting to like once we finish this game to go back and compare it to what Caruana did in the game and see if he went for the same thing or slightly different.
I'm sure it's very different.
I'd be safe. We'll see. I was about to play King B5 again. Oh, maybe King A5. You want to play B4, I see.
Shit.
Danger now.
I think am I losing this now?
It's funny, if my rook was on e2, you would have c3 check.
Yeah. I think I'm losing this now.
This is already not what you want. It's moving the rook to b2 kind of backfired.
Yeah, letting the king come in was a mistake.
I don't know if it's like lost, but it's not pleasant for sure.
I mean, all my queenside pawns fall.
Yeah, so what you want to do is like go for counterplay. It's like, yeah, king f3. So maybe ideas of g4 create a passer, but yeah, it's going to be a race. Ooh. I'm trying to calculate this endgame. It should be okay.
I don't think so.
Did I miscalculate? Ah, interesting. Wait, I'm not actually sure what's going on here.
I think I might have a chance. Huh.
I think you moved a little too quickly there. It takes a lot of like concrete calculation, these positions.
No. I'm so close too.
Yeah, no, there is some possibility to get like some queen ending. Wow, so queen versus so many pawns.
I think you should have took back on h5. But this will probably do.
Yeah, there's even like instead of taking on c4, there's this move f5. I mean, okay, there's going to be a lot of interesting things to look at.
Okay, well, I'm going to resign. I think this is not the position I wanted. But yeah, I couldn't find the plan after the rook a2. Like,
So actually, I think you were on the right track. And interestingly enough, what you probably had to do was like play a waiting move and realize that I was in a difficult position myself.
oh, really? Okay, let me add it to the study.
Yeah.
Really? Man.
But
I
it did
don't like
require
how...
finding some idea.
Wait, can you not tell me...
like finding this b4 idea, but it's also a matter of executing.
Can you not tell me the waiting move? But... Is it at this point?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, because I mean this is still like somewhat complex. But I will say, like the mistake you made, I believe, it was rook b2.
Rook b2.
Because it allowed the king to come in.
Yeah.
And oh, maybe here you were still okay. Maybe okay, so you could have reverted back to like the original situation if you play rook a2 here.
But what if king b4?
So king b4, you can check and then put the rook c4, and that would be actually quite nice for you.
So that was my original plan. Like, but when I studied this, I thought I lose a pawn. I let you take on c2 at one point. If your king ever walked away from the c5 pawn. So my line was, just say for example, Um, if he were to go here, just for example,
Mhm.
I just calculated this line
Mm.
and thought that white would be better. If only king went off.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But that was the only resource I could find. But in the game, in this position, or actually, did this happen? Like rook e2, rook a2?
Yeah, so like in the Carlsen game, and maybe I'll add the Carlsen game as a new chapter, unless you want to try and figure it out. But I think it will be instructive to see how Caruana won this.
Yeah, please do.
And there's a whole chess.com article on this game, which I will link. I'll just link in the study chat.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna scroll down to the.
So the whole game's annotated, but the annotations in the endgame are nice.
Okay.
So yeah, rook a6. So you have had to find the way to defend the pawn.
Yeah, rook a6, rook e2.
The rook on h2. It is passive at first, but you do have the threat of c4, so forces black's king back. And what Carlsen is hoping for is just to like paralyze white, where this rook would be stuck and the king is stuck. However, Caruana found a very nice move here. It's a move which I think you played. Maybe you played king f1 first, but then you eventually found the right idea.
Yeah.
Is to play h4.
Was it the idea to go king h2 and king g3?
So the idea is, yeah, to walk around with the king. And then eventually black will be short of moves, as we'll see. So like what happened in the game. Also, white just wants to make progress. Like if white's given like so many moves in a row, like king g3, maybe f4, king f3, and then start pushing pawns. So we actually had a very similar position. Maybe we had this exact position.
We had the exact position, yeah. Wow.
No, maybe the tempo was
different.
A little bit off because you could play king f1 first and then went back around. It was very, very similar. And Carlsen played g6. Now king f3. So maybe this is where you played this?
I played rook b2.
Just going to compare it to. Oh, it's so similar. Oh, you played king h3, and then you played rook b2. Yeah, the king is better on g3.
I was thinking g4.
Oh, yeah, but you want so the idea here is to eventually play king f3 and g4.
Yeah, that's the main idea. I didn't see that idea.
However, there's another idea for whites, which just involves, I mean, in playing king f3, this is essentially like just a waiting move. Like black has to make a move here.
Okay.
If we notice the rook, I mean, the rook is a bit stuck. It can't stay on the second rank. If it moves back, then white's rook can activate. And meanwhile, the king is stuck. The king moves to b5, there's c4. If it moves here, there's rook a6. So it has to move back this way.
So you put black in zugzwang.
Yeah, so there's really only 3 moves to consider here for black. And after either king move, like Carlsen played king b7. Now a very strong move from Caruana. I mean, maybe he could still go for g4.
Wait. Don't tell me. Wait, yeah. I didn't look at it yet.
Okay.
So white to play and win here.
So white to play, yeah. And this move is given an exclamation point by the annotator. And basically says, after this move, the rest is just easy.
What? Okay, I'm just
for like a super GM.
Is it a super GM move? Like,
I mean, it's a move which, like, once you see it, it should be understandable, but it's maybe not the first move you would consider.
So it's not G4, and it's not F5. You can't move any of the pawns. It doesn't look like.
So that's a dangerous assumption to make.
Oh, okay. So that's the assumption.
You don't want to project anything too early.
I mean, G4 seems logical. You said it wasn't G4, so I'll consider F5. But I don't see how everything else becomes easy after F5. After G takes F5.
So keep in mind, you're up a pawn.
Yeah.
Your main problem is that your rook is just super passive. So you would like to transform the position in some way, even if it involves trading, where you can activate your rook and make some progress.
So is F5 the right move?
Well, not really, because
Okay.
like, what's the follow-up after G takes F5?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, is it you play B4 takes, and then you play rook A4 to check and win this pawn?
There you go. Yeah, the black's king is too far away. This is a problem where black like had to move the king back. Allows for the idea of B4. And B4, it's just a nice way of trading pawns to activate the rook.
And if the king went on C7, where you wouldn't take the pawn with check?
Oh, king C7. King C7 probably allows rook A6.
Oh, different target.
Which, yeah. And now, like, it's kind of played this way. And we'll probably come back to G5.
Oh, I see.
Two pawns. So that gains a lot of time.
Wow.
It's nice that that pawn's already advanced. Like, white will be quick in any sort of pawn race.
It is very instructive. I play like Caruana, like intuitively.
Yeah, no, it was nice you found this like H4 walking the king around. It's just sometimes these certain positions where you have to be very aware of what the opponent's next move is, and when they have limited moves where they kind of have to self-destruct. So
yeah, I think I don't notice that. Like, I feel like you have a good grasp of like when the opponent has like almost no good moves. Like, I feel like I'm not thinking about their moves really, but more about like what's my 1-2 follow up.
yeah, it takes a while to kind of shift your mindset to always like kind of inherently be aware of the opponent's perspective. But I remember like as I was developing as a chess player, once I integrated this mindset, like always being aware of like when the opponent's having some difficulties, especially in the endgame, then it helped me just understand more complex positions. Because then you're able to find these ideas, like very subtle ideas, like king F3 and then black spaces and so on.
Yeah. Got it.
So yeah, so the rest of the game, I mean, it was quite nice. Carlsen played C4, trying to go for really active play, being a bit tricky. And then it was still a matter of some like precise calculation. He takes D3. I would imagine a lot of players would be scared here, like playing Carlsen, like he's pinning your pawn, and this pawn looks dangerous. And very simple king E3.
Yeah, king E3, yeah.
And then things get traded. White has more than enough pawns. Still takes some technique, but yeah, this is easy, man.
That's good technique. If I can go back, quick second. King E3. Oh, you just come in. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, black can't really simplify. Like white's king is just close enough to make it winning.
Wow. Ooh, okay, good stuff.
Yeah, so it might be interesting for you to look at like the video, because this was actually very recent, and this got a lot of media attention because it was
chess.com.
So it was actually over the board. It was the Norway chess event.
Oh, the video of Carlsen playing.
Yeah. And it was an Armageddon game. So black actually had draw odds in this game. If Carlsen drew, he would win the mini match. And there's a lot of game analysis on YouTube. Yeah, so there's one channel I found. I think they basically pirated the video from the official broadcast. But maybe they edited in some other stuff too. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the wrong game. Yeah, it might take some digging through YouTube
Yeah.
to find the right game. But
Oh, good. I appreciate you putting the annotations in here, or like pasting the annotated game into here. Very nice.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this was just grabbed from chess.com. It has some nice annotations. Like the opening was really interesting too. So there's like there were so many different stages of this game.
Yeah.
But
Very cool.
but yeah, it's a game like you could probably spend like an hour at least like going through and looking at all like the sidelines. Like this line.
Oh, I saw a thumbnail with this.
Okay.
Not breaking the not like something about like breaking chess principles.
Yeah, like moving the same piece twice and away from the center, and like the threat, like it's an incredible line. The threats knight takes f7, queen f3.
What Caruana said this? I remember my coach showing me this when I was 8 years old.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, this is a line I studied recently, and I guess it can come from it comes from Rosalimo. But it's a line I was studying. I was actually studying this move order, like here, and like 4 knights, then bishop b5.
That's fair.
So.
Well, cool. Is it cool we do one more position?
Yeah, let's do it.
Last 15, 20-ish minutes.
Feel free to.
Well, actually, before we do one last one, let's do the Eugene versus you, Eric.
Oh, sure.
But before we do that, can we just guess what the answer is to the King's Indian defense?
Oh yeah, this one is a lot more like kind of conceptual. This is probably a position where it's like objectively compared to the other ones, it's maybe the hardest to win. But there's also
is the hardest to win this one
as white. Just because there's so many pieces on the board, and you have to play precisely.
Oh, sure. I mean, my assumption, my guess is that my theory is that f5 or f4 closes down the king side.
Yes.
So black has no real serious breakthroughs or threats, where white can just go b4 and
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like f4 is a blunder, and this line is actually it's a very nice trappy line. Because a lot of King's Indian players, especially lesser experienced players, say any player below 2000 will be inclined to play f4 because that's usually what you do in King's Indian.
Yeah. I'm surprised white played g4. That's kind of a...
So g4 is actually like a very playable line. This is a line I show to students who play d4 and want something like dangerous against King's Indian. Because g4 just attempts to like prevent or slow down black's attack. And it's counterintuitive because it looks like it's opening things up. But even in the case where black takes, I mean, it's actually pretty solid for white.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand what exactly to do in this position as whites, because there's really only one good move here. Because black is still threatening to play h5 and try and create some tension and later potential attack. So you have to understand.
Oh, you play h4 to meet h5 with g5?
Good. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
If you don't play, like if you're a bit too hurried, you play knight d3. Actually, maybe g5 could be played first. Probably g5 first and then later h5, and it's a little bit uncomfortable for white.
Wow.
But yeah, h4 first, and like it's impossible for black to force files to open without sacking anything.
Yeah.
And then later you'll have these ideas of just breaking through on the queen side.
Got it. Yeah, it's cool to see like how some patterns like translate to other positions. Like I was in a Caruana line. I remember playing h4 to play this, something like that. And so that's how I felt like I got the answer right away, which I'm very surprised about because I usually don't get the questions that you ask me.
Yeah, some ideas. It's helpful if you've seen like similar things before. And it's interesting to see like the statistics in this position. If you look in Master's database, black almost never wins after playing f4.
h4. F4. Yeah.
After H4, it's like half wins, half draws, basically, for white.
Hmm.
And then like the Lichess database, it's probably even more extreme. Or actually, no, Black actually manages to win some games.
I don't trust the Lichess database. It's like
But yeah,
like everything.
there can be a lot of weird games affecting the results. But yeah, I mean, if you want to play this position out, or we can play the Eugene Sean game out. Is that?
I mean, I'm open to both. I'm not sure, trying to figure out which one. Which one would you feel like be more instructive? I feel like this game is more simple. The plan is something like this.
Mm-hmm. So you want to win D7?
Oh, that's my guess.
Yeah, maybe let's play this one out because like white should clearly be winning here, completely dominating, but you do need to have like some technique. I actually played this out against another student recently, rated maybe 2000, and I won as black.
Wow.
He overpushed.
I play as white.
Yes.
So I remember you showed me this game a long time ago.
It's possible.
Yeah.
This is very like positional, like it's really nice positional squeeze where black has the queenside rook and bishop out of play.
Yeah. If I have other ideas. I'll show you in the game, but the point is just not to let you get out and get active.
And that's one point. Yeah, I mean, first of all, like restrict any black counterplay, but then secondly, like continue making progress to a point where, like I can't defend against threats. Okay, let's put my rook. I'll put the rook on E7 probably.
Huh. Forgot about that option.
Yeah, so D7 will at least be defended.
Okay.
Yeah, this is another game where it'll be kind of eye-opening to see what actually happened in the game and how easy white made it seem.
Yeah, I remember bits of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to recall. Not recall, but I think I kind of saw this crazy idea that I wouldn't normally play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see a simple way to get a small advantage, but by taking the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably a much more clear way to win.
Interesting.
Right? Like GH4, rook H4, knight takes C8, and then win D7.
Okay. There's actually a key idea here. I think you're overlooking here.
Yeah. So in this position is a key idea.
My last move was actually a little careless on my part, and actually, it seems like you're having the same blind spot that I had.
Like this?
That's possible.
Oh man.
I'll tell you right now, there was
A much stronger move.
G takes h4, rook takes h4, white to move mate in 2.
Really? Wait, so G takes 4, H takes 4.
G takes h4, rook takes h4, mate in 2 for white.
No way.
Way. Like, what is my rook on h7 tied down to defending?
Oh, that's mate. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So my
Wow.
my rook,
So that
I
was
forgot like when I played h4.
so that was a threat the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
This is
Yeah.
why you can never trust your opponents. Like, I play h4 and just take it with a grain of salt. Okay, now it's kind of interesting.
I mean, alternatively, I can double up on H file, I think.
Perhaps, yeah. I will say there's a lot of like nice looking ideas here for white.
Yeah, but I feel like man, I want to know what happens in the game now because I feel like I'm just grinding a longer battle.
Right. I mean, okay, it's still much better.
Mm.
Really, whatever gets the job done, as long as you can convert.
I remember there's some crazy line where there was like, you pushed the queen side pawns,
Yeah.
but I forgot why.
Well, you push the queenside pawns to like remove this knight from c6.
I know, but then what happens after? I forgot that part.
Ah.
So knight goes to what, e5?
So ultimately, I'll tell you this. I don't know if it's going to work in this position, but you push the queenside pawns, eventually take out a pawn on b6, and it's a mating attack.
Huh. I don't think it works in this position, but that's interesting.
And it's still interesting.
So you move the knight to d6?
Um.
Maybe not.
Oh, for white. That's one idea, yeah, to move the knight to d6, but then it could allow me to play b5. Maybe my king can run.
Okay. So waiting.
And that's fine. Like, you make progress. You have an outside pass pawn. Like, my bishop and rook still can't move at all. So I'm just trying to hold my ground.
Mm. What to do here?
So my one hope is to pressure you on time as well. C4, interesting.
Yeah, I'm making this harder than it should be.
Yeah, the position, I mean, the waters kind of got muddied.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to untangle at least as much as I can. King C4 is an interesting move.
Okay, now, yeah, now it's just,
Well, at least I can breathe a bit easily.
yeah.
Before I was just suffocating. But you're okay, you're still up a pawn. You can still try and win. The outside passer. My rooks are still passive. Ooh. I know in time pressure it's even.
Okay, I'm gonna resign. I want, for the sake of time as well, but oh my gosh, I'm not proud of that.
Yeah, kind of let the like if you realize this made into idea and you just took the pawn on h4 when I played h4, I
Yeah.
think it would have been just much easier. And then if you go for this idea of pushing the queenside pawns, it's much
Yeah.
nicer. My knight's restricted.
Could we spend the last like couple minutes going over the actual
Oh
game?
yeah, of course, yeah, because I want to show you like essentially white just expanded on the queen side and then had beautiful mating combination.
Yeah, I remember
It's been
seeing
involved
parts
like,
of that.
and actually the game is in the database as we see.
Okay, why added our game to the thing? Man, chess is hard.
It is, yeah. It's like converting a winning position when your opponent's putting up like as much resistance as possible. It still takes a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of players who have the bad habit of like they sit back and relax when they get a winning position and then don't realize that's sometimes when it takes the most work to actually convert.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I experienced this a few days ago. I was playing Nakamura.
Really?
Maybe even you saw this game. It's been making the rounds on Reddit and YouTube. But
I haven't seen it.
so Naka, like I went into this forced draw variation in the London, and
Okay.
in order to get out of it, he sacked a queen early,
Wow.
trying to beat me, and he almost came back. Like he put up so much resistance, he was down like a queen for a rook. He pressured me a lot on time, and like he was so close. Like in the end, I won, but it was not easy, and my technique was not pretty.
Yeah, yeah. Because even like a slight mistake against, especially like super GM like Nakamura, like will just get crushed.
Yeah, and there's different styles of playing. Like when you're better, you still have to come up with ideas to make progress. And some players they just try and be too safe, and then they let their opponents get counterplay or untangle in some regard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and insert. Find the game in Masters database. So yeah, I think this was a position we started with. I think you played very naturally. I think you started with
D1.
rook to d6, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
D2.
and there's a few different approaches. My opponent played bishop h5.
Wait, I'm not on the same page as you. Are you in the study?
Oh, am I in the? Oh, I'm in the different. Yeah, my bad. Let me
Okay.
go to the study. Oh, how that happened. Now I'm in the study. I was looking at the wrong thing. Let me insert it from here. Okay, here we go. So I have, oh, you played a3 first. Also very playable.
Okay.
Like white has a lot of time here to improve. Maybe I'll show you what happened in the game, just to
Yeah, show me what happened in your game.
show like how play unfolded. White did similar stuff. Like, okay, I got g6 in, bishop moved back, moved the knight back. So white doubles up rooks, and now the main idea is to play a3, b4, bring the king to c3, support b4, and then b5 or a4, b5.
Yeah.
And then we can imagine, maybe it's hard to imagine from a distance, but like the knight would have to move.
Okay.
And if the knight moves back to d8, we can imagine knight d5 check and b6 mate.
Oh, yes, that's what happened.
Or if the rook's on d8, then it would be some similar mating idea. So I put my rook on h7, white carries through with the plan. I was just stuck, like knight a7, it's just kind of, my opponent took extra measures to prevent me even from playing knight b5. So I play h5. And now he walks up with the king. I was just waiting around. Like, it's so painful here. And like already in this position, it's completely lost. Because now white is threatening mate in 2. Knight d5 and b6. So I tried to stop it. I played knight f7. And my opponent played very nice move, bishop c4. The rook's not really attacked because white can take and then fork. So everything in white's position is optimized. And
wait,
I think
what's the point of, sorry, bishop c4?
So bishop c4 just adds a bit more pressure, and there's ideas later of bishop takes e6. But it's just like, maybe it's considered a waiting move. Like,
I see.
Black's just paralyzed here. I think actually the threat is to play bishop takes e6. Because there's the later ideas of b6 mating. So I play g5. And it's actually exactly what happened, bishop takes e6.
Yeah, so he did take it.
And the idea was to control the d8 square. There's no piece occupying d8. White wants to get this idea with knight d5, b6 mate. It was a brilliant finish, and I just couldn't stop this. Just ran out of defensive resources. Takes.
Wow.
Knight d5. So it's a double piece sacrifice to mate in that.
Yeah. That feels like a tactic more than a... Well, I mean, not really tactic, but the plan was probably the bigger...
It was based on like this combination. I'm sure there are other ways to win.
That's really good, though.
But very often this is what happens. Like when you have a squeeze, you build up pressure so much, you keep improving, that eventually you'll have just more attacking resources or more tactical resources than your opponent can deal with.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like just way too much pressure. My pieces are not. I mean, I'm trying to defend, but my pieces are not doing an effective job of covering all the threats.
It would have been a mistake to like push the king side pawns and double on the H file, right? Like,
yeah, I think that's
focusing on that area.
Because if you double on the H file, you're allowing black probably to at some point play d6, which is what happened in our game, where it's black's dream to like play d6 or someday b6 and then free open the rook and the bishop. So it's important for white to play restrictively, to make progress in a way that doesn't allow black to untangle.
Yeah. All right, this is great, Eric. I'm like, I want to learn. I think I've been so focused on playing blitz and like openings and stuff. Like, I just want to learn like these fundamental ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a bit more abstract even still, because there's no absolute solution or absolute like process for winning positions like this. But it's important to have like different concepts and ideas in your toolbox when you do have a better position, whether it's like the slow grind or the quiet moves, or kind of the ability to find like the tactical resources or tactical combinations to close
Sure.
out the position.
Sure. Yeah, this is super helpful.
But yeah, that's good to hear. I know like it's sometimes hard to work on this area of chess where like players don't usually focus on converting winning positions. They focus on how to get winning positions, but it's an area of chess which I think there's still a lot of lessons we learned.
I know you have a video on save helpless positions, but is there any like, how did you get so good at saving helpless positions besides just playing a lot? That's funny. Because that'd be cool to like be on the defensive side to always look. I think that's a skill on its own right.
I will say, like how I got good. I think there's actually at least a simple answer to start with. I like when I was younger, I never resigned. Like every game, and like always, like I'm super competitive. Even in a lost position, I'm always looking for tricks. Like over time, like as I got to like higher levels, I have to look for more kind of obscure tricks or find ways to put up resistance. Another way I would practice sometimes is play like giving material odds against lower rated players. I actually enjoy even like these days giving queen odds to like 1500 rated player and watch them struggle to win, and then keep like just hold my own and wait for opportunities to get counterplay.
That's pretty cool.
But then you can also like watch the games of like strong players. Like Nakamura is so good at like putting up resistance in positions. But yeah, it's hard to think of like so many resources of like coming back from bad situations. But maybe I'll have to put out more content in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, that's an interest of mine. Personally, I think it's really cool to underrated. Like a defense is underrated in every sport.
Sure.
But yeah, this is super helpful, Eric. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. There was actually one more position that came to mind.
Oh yeah, sure. Show me.
I'm just gonna throw in here in the study. It was Karpov Korchnoi, isolated pawn. It's like one of these great, like classic endgame positions. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, 1981. It's one of these opening structures that can come. Oops, did not work. Try this again. It's a full game. Like, if I were to add more positions to the study, the position emerging from here would be the one to play out, where black is just playing against the isolated pawn. And I like, if you have time, if you want to study more, I encourage you to like look through this game and see how black converted. Like Karpov just taking down Korchnoi from this kind of classic IQP position.
Yeah, you just target that pawn forever until white's paralyzed. Is that right?
Yeah, well, eventually, like you want to triple up and play e5, but then in the game, white played f4, and that was a matter of still opening the position. So that's another kind of classic game to know about.
Okay, good. By the way, I expanded my opening repertoire. I'm a d4 player now.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm trying.
In London or
d4, c4.
Nice.
Mostly just to branch out and learn other things. I've tried to London before, but I get crushed pretty easily.
Fair enough. Yeah, London, you still need to know some intricacies. But yeah, d4 or c4, I mean, it's super reliable. And there's a lot of repertoire books out there that cover what you need to know, or at least a starting point.
I mean, there's too much information, to be honest, but I don't know any theory, but I play it and ironically do better than I do at d4. And like,
it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players like struggle like against d4, c4 because it's a slower opening, a bit more positional, and sometimes that's against the style of a lot of players.
Yeah, but
good to hear.
Yeah, it's been good. Been playing the Budapest.
Mm.
But, yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, I appreciate it, Eric. This is super helpful. I got to book another time with you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Anytime you want to book, just check Calendly, and yeah, we'll stay in touch.
All right, for sure. Thank you, mate.
All right, bye, Sam.
All
Have a
right,
good day.
take care.